The Batman's Grave is a brand new 12-part Batman Maxi series brought to us by superstar writer Warren Ellis and superstar artist Bryan Hitch. What'll happen next? What does it all mean? Well, let's hop into the first issue and find out. Alrighty then, so as we join the comic, we start actually not with Batman at all, but with Alfred during his day-to-day duties at Wayne Manor. He does the cooking, the cleaning, the groundskeeping, and oh yeah, he also handles the upkeep of the Wayne family plot. And I mean, really, you know you got money when you got private graveyard money. Though as it stands right now, there is a new headstone in the Wayne family plot, one belonging to Bruce Wayne, but he's not dead right now. Say what? And why, yes, before someone mentions it in the comments section right now, yeah, Alfred is also supposed to be dead in canon right now, and no, I don't know exactly when this story takes place. But I'm sure, as with a lot of continuity at DC right now, it won't ultimately end up mattering. From there, we actually transition on over to what Batman is doing tonight while he patrols the streets. Stop me if you've heard this one before, but a loving family and their child decide to take a dark alley shortcut after seeing a movie, only to be accosted by some criminal thugs. It would seem that one of the dads in this situation just so happens to be a Gotham cop, and he's perturbed these dangerous skinheads who want to see him dead right now. Luckily, Batman is there to save the day, and the Dark Knight ends up unloading an unholy ass whooping on all of these guys. Oh, he's just kicking them up and down the alley all over the place, and no, the irony isn't lost on Alfred at all. That no matter how hard Master Bruce tries one way or another, it always comes back to alleys, doesn't it? This is just the beginning of Batman's night, though, as we discover this is one of those evenings wherein the GCPD is inundated with 911 calls and can't reach them all at once, so it's a good thing that there's Batman. Batman gets called into an apartment complex where it seems that a man may very well have died in his unit and no one can get in. Now, normally this wouldn't be a job for the Dark Knight detective, but once Batman gets inside the unit, he discovers that not only was this man very clearly murdered, but he also just so happens to be a massive Batman junkie, a superfan, if you will. And because Batman just loves him some strange unsolved mysteries, he decides to take this one back to the cave with him. Alfred is a little unimpressed about the whole thing. In fact, we actually see him and Bruce share a drink in this issue, something that doesn't happen all that often. I can only assume the stuff from the alley had an effect on Alfred too. Will this ever come to an end? Will there always need to be a Batman? Will this finally be the case that gets Bruce killed? Who can say for sure? What we can say for sure, though, is that Alfred is going through lethal weapon problems right now, by which I mean he's getting too old for this. Now, Batman, using his amazing high-tech 3D rendering technology, is able to recreate the crime scene in the Batcave. He also walks us through his process of solving murders like this. A lot of people assume that Batman puts himself in the mind of the perpetrator, because after all, Batman's mind is also sick and twisted. But no, actually, according to Bruce himself, the way that he always goes about solving a murder is to try and put himself in the shoes of the victim, which is exactly what he does here. Turns out the dead guy had actually worked for the district attorney's office, but had to quit after having a mental breakdown. After all, seeing so much corruption in the city, so little good being done, it would be enough to eat away at anybody. Slowly but surely, though, this guy started to rebuild his life. He got on some good medication, made a friend, and also started following Batman. It was therapeutic for this guy to actually see someone in Gotham City enact some real change and some real good, and to do it all on his own. Why, he had even made such breakthroughs he was planning to return to work soon. That rubbed his one friend the wrong way, who was a real loner with real issues, who would rather kill his one and only friend than see him leave him again, a fact that Batman figures out. Now, where on earth could this killer be hiding? He could be anywhere in the city, right? But Batman knows better. This guy didn't go too far. All he ever wanted was in that room, and because of that, he never left, deciding to stay under the floorboards as the comic comes to a close. And so that was the Batman's Grave issue number 1, everybody, and ultimately I thought it was a very solid, very creepy, very atmospheric mystery that reminded me a lot of Ellis's work with Moon Knight. It was also a really solid detective story with a beginning, middle, and end, something I feel that is a real rarity in Batman comics these days, which is a real shame. I have to wonder too, seeing as this story was essentially a one and done, are we gonna keep getting 11 more issues of that build to, a bigger underlying arc? Or is the whole guy under the floorboard first thing meant to kick off a bigger story. I do like the extra attention that's being paid to Alfred in this story, especially considering how poorly Alfred has been treated in other Batman books right now that I will not name. Ultimately, I would give this one an 8 out of 10. This doesn't feel like any other Bat-related book on the shelf right now, and to me it was a real breath of fresh air. I would give it an 8 out of 10.
Hey there everyone, it's your old pal Cape Joel again, and if you're seeing me right now, it means you watched to the end of the video, of which I will always be appreciative of. It really helps with retention and all that other good YouTube stuff. If you really like my work, you can check me out on social media. I have links down in the description of the video you're watching right now to all my different socials. I got the Twitter, I got the Instagram, I got the Facebook. I'm very easy to be reached, and if you follow me there, you can be the first to know about when a new video goes live. And with that, I will bid you all adieu. Bye-bye.